Welcome back to Wall Again, where passion meets music. And today I'm going to run through my CD collection, and I'm going from letters N the whole way through to R. So let's dive straight in. So starting off on the ends, we have Nirvana. So I have their debut album Bleach, the classic Nevermind, got Incesticide, which is a follow-up album to Nevermind and is a B-Sides and Rarities album. We've got In Utero, MTV Unplugged, and From the Muddy Banks of the Wisco, which was the live album that was released in 1996. So yeah, love Nirvana, great band. Pity they didn't put out more material, or they weren't around for longer, but there you go. Now we move on to Oasis. So I've got the Definitely Maybe 30th anniversary that was released last year. Don't have What's the Story. I used to have it on cassette, but hopefully I can buy that this year when it comes out on a remastered deluxe version. We've got Be Here Now. Got the Master Plan. Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. What's this one called? Heathen Chemistry. Didn't buy this one actually. This was, again, my brother-in-law when he was throwing it out. I took that one from him. And then I have the classic, or the best of Stop the Clocks. It's got a lot of their classic hits in that one. Okay, we have Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. I have his debut solo album there. And then I have Ocean Colour Scene. What one is this? Marching Already. And the best of Ocean Colour Scene, we've got Pantera, Reinventing Hell. That's the best of compilation. Now move on to Pearl Jam. Huge fan of Pearl Jam. So we've got 10 Verses, Vitalogy, Yield. I don't own No Code, but I'll probably pick it up at some point. We've got this one here, which is the Benaroya Hall. It's a live album as a charity gig that the band did back in 2003, I believe. Yeah, released in 2004, but recorded in 2003. And this album here is actually very, very rare. There was only a limited number of copies pressed, and luckily I managed to pick a copy of this up about 2 or 3 years ago on eBay, I think it was, or Discogs. So yeah, happy with that. This is the Pearl Jam self-titled album. Not very often a band wait until the later part of their career to release their self-titled album, but there you go. And I do like this one. Backspacer, another album I like from Pearl Jam. I know Pearl Jam fans are mixed on it, but I actually like that one. Gigaton, which I only picked up a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really getting to grips with this one now. Yeah, it's really doing it for me at the moment. I think this one was overlooked because of COVID. And then last year's release, Dark Matter, which is another great album from Pearl Jam. And then this one here, this was actually a live album from Dublin from last summer. I was at that gig. I thought it was amazing, so I said I have to pick up the live version. With postage and everything, it cost me about $45 or €50, which is extremely expensive for a live CD. But it got shipped from California, so yeah, from California all the way to Ireland, and then the cost of the actual CD itself. I don't know if I'll be buying one of those again. The cover is a bit flimsy as well, to be honest. So yeah, but the sound is great. The sound is amazing, and it's a great record to have there. Next, we have my Tom Petty collection, which is growing. So we've got the debut album by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. We've got You're Gonna Get It, their second album, which is actually great. I think that's an underrated album. We've got Southern Accents, which I picked up a couple of months ago at a record fair. We've got one of his best, Full Moon Fever, which is actually a solo album, but Mike Campbell does play on that one. We've got Into the Great Wide Open, which I only picked up over the Christmas. So great production. There's a few good songs on it, it's not bad. Then we have the Greatest Hits compilation, released in 1993. It's the first thing I had from Tom Petty back in the day. We've got the Wildflowers solo album, which is absolutely brilliant, one of his best. Rick Rubin produced that one. And then we've got Highway Companion from 2006. Not a bad album. This one was produced by Jeff Lynne as well. Not a bad album, Highway Companion. Some good songs on there. Obviously production is great because it's Jeff Lynne. Okay, next I have The Police. So I don't have much from The Police, even though I'm a big fan of The Police. So I have their best of 30 tracks over 2 CDs, and I have the best of Sting and The Police. But I probably will pick up more Police and Sting albums over the next year or so. Okay, Pink Floyd, I have their full discography. I bought it as a box set before. So I've got, what have we got here? We've got Piper at the Gates of Dawn. We got A Saucer Full of Secrets. We got, what's this one? More, music from the film More. We've got Uma Gumma, Atom Heart Mother, Medal, Obscured by Clouds, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, The Final Cut, A Momentary Lapse of Reason, and Division Bell. Now these are all a bit of a mess here because they're in plastic sleeves, which I like to do with my digipacks if they'll fit. I find it keeps them for longer, but it does end up a bit messy on the shelf. No big deal. That's alright. I'll just get these fixed back. So then we're moving on to Q. So of course, Queen. So I used to have their Greatest Hits 1. Don't know where that's gone. So that's Greatest Hits 2. Greatest Hits 3. I have Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf, an absolute classic. And I need to pick up more Queens of the Stone Age. Just haven't had a chance to yet. Now I'll take up my R.E.M. collection because there's quite a lot in this as well. So just go through now. So we have the eponymous release, which I think was an American release. I picked this one up in New York last year. It was $5. So a good deal. It's basically a compilation of all their hits from the IRS record label before they moved on to, who was it? Was it Warner? Yeah. So before they moved on to a major label, this was all their indie label releases. So it's very, very cool. It's got Radio Free Europe on it, So Central Rain, The One I Love, and It's the End of the World as We Know It. So great to have that. I don't know if I'd go and actually pick up all the IRS releases. I'll see if they come to me, if they're in a shop and they're not too expensive, I possibly may pick them up. But I think that compilation is great to have all of the early releases on. So then we're on to the Warner Brother releases. So we have Green, which is a very good album. What have we got on here? We've Stand, which is a great song. Orange Crush, and again, another brilliant song. So we like that album. Then we have Out of Time, which was the mainstream hit. This album, of course, had Losing My Religion on it, Shiny Happy People. So yeah, absolutely great album. And then we have what's considered probably their best album, Automatic for the People. I will be doing an R.E.M. album by album review, and then a ranking at some point. I just need to pick up the final album from the Warner Brothers collection. I think it was Collapsing to Now is the name of it. So once I get that, I'll be doing those reviews. Here's Monster from 1994. This is considered their grunge album. Again, see the price there, only €2. Can't go wrong. Bought that up secondhand and it's in perfect working order. New Adventures in Hi-Fi. Again, picked this one up secondhand. It was only €5. This one here up. I think I bought that one brand new. We've got Reveal, with the best of compilation from 1988 to 2003, all the Warner Brothers hits up to that point. Then we have Around the Sun, which I actually quite liked. I think it's a decent album. And then Accelerate, which I think is an excellent cover. So there you go, that's the R.E.M. collection. Moving on now to the Raconteurs. who were a supergroup consisting of Jack White. I always get Jack White and Jack Black mixed up. So it was Jack White from the White Stripes and Brendan Benson and Jack Lawrence and another musician. Brendan Keeler, was it? I think his second name was Keeler. Can't remember his first name. But yeah, they have 2 albums. They're a supergroup that were formed in the mid-2000s. This is the first album, Broken Boy Soldiers, an absolute classic. I listened to this the other day, and I only picked this up about a month ago. Listened to this the other day. Unbelievable. Blew me away. Absolutely brilliant. Hadn't heard it in probably 15, 16 years, but absolutely blew me away. And then this one, I bought this one when it came out, Consolers of the Lonely. That's their second album. I actually saw them on this tour when they played Punchestown, the Oxygen Festival, and they were amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this album was brilliant. I had this on repeat. I used to listen to this every day going to work on the train to Dublin. Every morning I'd pop it in when I got on the train at Drogheda, and by the time I got to Dublin, the album was finished. It was absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So every morning listen to that one. This one here, the Ramones. I'm not a big Ramones fan. I'm not really a big punk rock fan, to be honest. So this does it for me. It's the best of the Ramones. And even at that, I don't listen to it that often. Okay, now we're moving into Radiohead, who are a band I absolutely adore. We've got The Bends. We've got OK Computer. All classic albums here. Kid A, another classic. Love this one. Amnesiac. Some people don't like it. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then In Rainbows. Still have a few to pick up from Radiohead, but getting there. Rage Against the Machine. Just have 2 albums from them. They only released 4. So the original self-titled debut album. Obviously have that one. And then I also have the Battle of Los Angeles. I bought this very shortly after it came out, 1999. So a classic album. I've got the Best of Rainbow, just called Pot of Gold. But again, I need to go back. I love Richie Blackmore, so I need to go back and flesh out that collection there. Next band I have here is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I have Blood Sugar Sex Magic, brilliant stuff. One Hot Minute with Dave Navarro. Then Californication, of course, when John Frusciante came back to the band. That's when this one was released, and it's an absolute classic. We have By the Way. So Californication, when it came out, I had on tape, and then By the Way, bought this when it came out. An absolute classic from the Chili's. And then I have a Greatest Hits compilation as well. Some oddballs here. I've got Irish band The Revs, their album Sonic Tonic. I actually picked this up for €1 at a charity shop last year. So there you go. Can't go wrong. And then we've got Rodrigo y Gabriela and the CUBA Orchestra. And yeah, it's an interesting album. Very different from what they're used to doing, the acoustic stuff. But yeah, nice to have in the collection all the same. Rolling Stones, I have Exile on Main Street. Again, donated from my brother-in-law. I have Voodoo Lounge. Sorry, you probably can't see these here. So there's Voodoo Lounge, Exile on Main Street, and then we have 40 Licks. So yeah, I like the Stones. They're good, but they're no Beatles. So I'll slowly go through and pick up their albums when I get a chance, but I won't be rushing out to buy them all anytime soon. Next, we move on to one of my favourite bands, Rush. So we have Caress of Steel, and then we have 2112, an absolute classic. Again, picked this one up in New York, $26. So it was expensive, but it's got the 5.1 surround sound on it. So at some point, if I upgrade my system, that's the first album I'll be listening to. Now we've got this one here, Moving Pictures, of course, absolute classic. Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, Limelight, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We've got Power Windows, which I picked up. I think I picked that one up in New York as well. This one was very cheap. I think it was less than $5, so can't go wrong. I've got Roll the Bones. Picked this up brand new on Discogs. I love that cover. I think it's just amazing. Yeah, decent album, not bad. And then I got the first Rush album I picked up was this compilation. It's called Rush Retrospective 1, 1974 to 1980. So yeah, I had that on repeat for a long time before I had the money to go out and buy the other albums. So that's my music collection from the letters N through to R. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the button as well. And if you could leave a comment below, let me know what albums you think I should have in my collection, or let me know what albums you have in your collection that might be of interest to people between the letters R to N. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye for now.